Hi creatives, Dimma here, and on this tutorial I'll be sharing with you how to snatch the waist of your dress, as you can see in this video. Now this is how to lay the inside corset. It's actually an inside corset with this zipper, okay, with minimal boning as well. This is not the exact dress. Now this is the dress I'm going to show you how to snatch, but it is a very similar process. This one I'll be showing in my next tutorial. It's an ashrabi dress, but this is a different style, but the same process of snatching. I couldn't capture the one you can see pinned in this video because I made it in quite a hurry, but don't worry, you will understand every bit of what I'm about to explain. Now here I have the dress. I've already made it. If you want to know how to make this dress, I have it already on the channel, exactly the style, so I will not want to upload it again. That's why I did not show the whole process. In this video, I just shared how you can make the lacing. Here I'm just marking the seam allowances and show you how to trace out the inside corset for your snatched waist, okay, for the midriff. Now this is what I've already done. I've already done it here, but I am going to show you what I did, how I achieved that. Now I brought my paper, brought the back pattern just like so. Watch closely to see what I'm doing. Be very attentive. So when you place it like so, you just go ahead and trace out the necessary places. Now watch how I am going to trace this out. Now this is about 5.5 inches from the waist downwards towards the hip. I will just mark it on the paper. Okay, I marked it there and I had to go to the other side. Okay, watch closely. I traced it all through like so. Aside what I'm saying, just watch carefully and you will understand everything I'm doing. Now here is 5.5. I took the same 5.5 this other way and I am tracing also up. So I'm going ahead to also trace this part. I'm tracing it all through so that you understand perfectly what I'm doing. I have to dim my camera here so that you will see the things that I'm doing, every line that I'm marking on the paper. Sorry that it is faint. I couldn't do more than this, as this is the pen that I had handy that can come out to this extent. My pencil was quite faint and I did not have a marker handy, but I hope you can see this. I believe you can see this. Okay, so right now I'm measuring where the underbust is from that end of the armhole, just to be able to measure the same here. Okay, because I am snatching from underbust down to the low waist. I hope you understand. So having done this, I'll just go ahead and draw a line. You can make it a curved line, like I'm placing my pattern master now. You can draw it curved like this if you want. Yes, but I decided to make it straight. Yes, I made mine straight. This is perfect. Now the next thing I'll do is just to come in by, this is the allowance, okay? These are the allowance by the two sides. From that allowance, I now took 2.5 inches. Note that you can make this 3.5 inches, okay? This is just to give a space where you can lace this up and snatch the waist. I hope you understand. Now, this is the area I'll be using. The other parts will be going off. So all these parts I will be cutting off is just here that I'll be using. So watch closely to see what I'm doing. Note that the waist that I am snatching is already reduced while making the pattern. Like if your client's waist is, let's say 32 and you want it to be snatched to 30, you must have used 30 inches to draft the waist of your client. Okay, let the waist of your client be, you know, the pattern, the basic pattern be drafted with 30 inches. Now you can see how I got what I got, but from what you can see here, you can notice that what I took from that center back is 3.5 instead of the 2.5 I took for the paper. If you still take 2.5, it's still fine. If you want 3.5, it's perfect. Now I'm trimming out 1 inch just to make it match. Don't bother about the upper and the lower side. Those are seam allowances for joining the corset panel for the lacing. Okay, so this is what I have. You can see that. I also put my notches to know where is at the center back, towards the center back and towards the side. Very important. Now this is what I have. Okay, so what I'll do now is to go ahead and start stitching this together. There are sewing techniques that must be followed. Watch what I'm doing. I'm marking chalk on the upper side because once I close this up, I am not going to know where the notches are. So I marked notch at the upper side so that I will know at a glance that that is the upper part of this lacing bar. So now I've stitched this part, which is towards the center back, and I am notching. Ensure that you do exactly this. Now I'm going to stop stitch. Watch closely. I am going to top stitch. Please, this is a sewing technique you have to follow to make everything lap and beautiful. So right now I have top stitched and I will go ahead to stitch the upper and the lower side. Here I'm trimming the excess seam allowance that is there just to remove bulk from that seam line. I structured this with cloth gum. I structured it. The interfacing I used here is cloth gum, not the very light one, just the medium weight cloth gum. Here I've stitched the upper and the lower side, and I'll be cutting, trimming the allowance like so to reduce bulk as well. Now that I've reduced the bulk, okay, I'm doing it for the second part as well. After removing the bulk, the excess seam allowance, I will just go ahead and turn it inside out. That is all. Now, having turned it inside out, I'll push it out really nicely. I will go ahead and iron. I will go ahead and iron. Push it in really nicely. Ensure that the waist of your client has already been cut to be according to how snatched you want this dress to be. If your client's waist is 32 and you want it to be snatched to 29, do that. Now I'm using my awl. What I'm using to puncture this is the awl. I'm keeping the two, lacing bars together, okay, lacing panels together, and I am puncturing the places I want to put the eyelet holes. So that is what I'm doing right here. So I'm measuring 1¾ inches. So the spacing of these holes is 1¾ inches. Feel free to space how you want, but if it's too apart, it's going to affect the snatching. So the closer the better. So I used 1¾ inches and I'm using my awl to puncture that. And why I did this, note that I pinned it together so that it doesn't move before I use the awl. Now this is to make sure that the holes are uniform, not like this one will be this place on this panel and on the other side on the other side. So that won't be nice. This is to ensure that everything is uniform and aligned properly. Now I'm going to cut open holes where I am going to be putting the eyelets. This is what you're going to do. I'll cut it open. Ensure that it is not too open to make your eyelet to be wobbling or not to be strong or to be falling off. Okay, you will test it. It is better it's smaller and you gradually increase it based on how wide your eyelet ring is. So here I am just opening those holes, not so much, but you know, open enough to make it a bit tight for you to push in the, what will I call it, the part of the eyelet that is raised. Okay, not the ring part. You know, the eyelet rings has two parts. One part is raised and the other part is just like a flat ring. Okay, the other one that is not a flat ring, that is what you will push in first through the hole. Ensure that it is snuggy, it's not free to push that one in. Okay, so that is what I did. Now you can see my eyelet rings and you can see my grommet machine. Now this is what it looks like. The mouth that you can see there can be changed depending on what you want to use this grommet machine for. But right now I fixed what I'll be using for the eyelet for it, because what I want to do right now is the eyelet. Okay, so right now you can see the rings on my hand and you can see the raised one, just as I explained earlier. So this is what we have. I'll go ahead and push in. You can see what it looks like. I'm going to push in this. The part that has a raised mouth, a raised tip, is the part that will be outside, like where people will be seeing. If someone is to unzip the dress, the part the person will be seeing is where the raised part will enter from. The face of this is where it will enter from. Okay, while you put the ring from the back side. I hope you understand. I hope I am making sense. Now, having pushed it in, I placed it on the grommet machine and I'm going to place the ring. Now the ring, you place it in a way that the convex part will be facing up while the concave part will be facing the fabric. I hope you understand. Then you press this down. Just watch closely to see what I'm doing and you will understand every bit of what I am saying. So now I'm pushing in another one, like so. You see that it's a bit tight, but it's better. You have to struggle a bit to push it in. This way your eyelet will be perfect. Now, having pushed it in, I am going to take the ring and place it on like this. Okay, note that the part that is groovy will be facing down and the part that is convex will be facing up. I hope you understand. Now, having said that, I will go ahead and do another one, the third one. So this is the ring and that's how to place it. I hope you understand. Okay, you just put it in and position it very well, really nicely, and then you press this down, just as you can see me press it down, not like allowing it to lift up severally. Once you press it down, just hold it down and, you know, hit it hard. Here I have completed the eyelets and you can see how lovely it's looking already. Okay, and you can see how aligned they are because I used my awl to ensure that the holes are punctured at uniform positions. I hope you understand. Now this is the dress and I am going to fix that lacing panel on it. This is the back part of the dress. I said if you want to know how to make this dress, I will link it up in the description box so that you can see it. I have uploaded how to cut this dress before, so I'll be linking it up and do well to see it and you will thank me later. Right now watch how I place the panel. Watch how I ensured that the notch is rhyming with the waistline. Watch. The notch is rhyming with the waistline. Place it appropriately and then stitch it down there. I'll go ahead and stitch it down and then this is what I have. You can see what it is looking like. I've stitched it down and they are facing each other. beautiful. So this is what I have right now. So lovely. Notice that I stitched that panel, that lacing panel or bar on the lining. I stitch it on the lining, not on the fabric. Okay, so right now you can see the curve. See how lovely this dress is looking. This is so gorgeous. And this is how I'm going to be placing this. You can see the boning, light boning I applied on the lining for the front part. It has a basque waistline and I applied light boning on it. Feel free to put as much as you wish. This is how my client wants it. She doesn't want it to be too much. So right now I'm going to close the sides up, lining to lining and fabric to fabric. This fabric will be going for the fabric and this will be closed with the lining. Back lining to the front lining and back fabric to the front fabric. Here I have closed it up and this is what I have. You can see how the lacing bar is appearing inside. You can see how neat this is and you can see how it will be laced up under the bust. Because we have no business with the bust area, our target is to snatch the waist and not the bust. You can see this is how lovely it is. You just close up the shoulder and finish up the dress. And after that, this is what I have. You can see how gorgeous the dress is. Are you going to try this out? Her waist was so snatched and wow, that was beautiful. Thanks guys for watching. I'll see you in my next one.